The General and Moses 24-hour reset set during critical incident alert status. Part 2. We need to control our impulse to overindulge in speculation. Sometimes human nature by design, regardless of your background, you may have the impulse to overindulge and speculate, or other people's speculation. Speculation can be very dangerous and compromise your safety and your families. Even Moses agrees. Now, most likely after the pre-incident has closed and the critical incidents are reoccurring, as it has with an outbreak, it is going in global in several continents and even states in this country now, as of Tuesday afternoon. You're having another outbreak can expand or create another critical incident that may or may not be related to this directly. So just be prepared as if you were in the kitchen making a massive holiday dinner and suddenly a ton of relatives and friends showed up you didn't expect. You'd have to start dealing with a lot more stress, and that's an example some of you that have to cook can relate to. And for the guys that cook too, you can relate. When more critical incidents worsen or secondary critical incidents develop as a byproduct, you've got a lot more stress, a lot more duress, and a lot more complications to sort through, but you don't have to make it hard on yourself. Now, the status can, more than likely, will change when you're resting, or if you're at work, or you're at school, or you're shopping, or whatever you do, or you have an activity or hobby or interest you participate in. You don't have to be paralyzed and inhibited from enjoying some of your freedoms and liberty. Now, the news media and even the government, and not just our government, because there's several involved in this, I think the UN can go to hell. I don't trust them. But they will be practicing fear-mongering, deception, hyping, and withholding information. It's your duty to discern and find reliable sources to make the best decisions for yourself and your family and your unit. Now, expect to hear rumors. The rumor mill, you remember back when you were in high school, and it's been well over 30 years since I was in high school, you remember how a rumor would get to circulating by, I don't even remember high school hardly, by whatever your first class was, and by the time school was adjourned in the afternoon, it may have started as one rumor, and then it is a tremendous rumor. Even in the workplace, you can hear rumors. Well, this is far greater than anything we've seen in recent time for us as far as a critical incident could blow up, catastrophic with mass casualties. You're going to hear people assuming, speaking on presumption, you're going to have unsustainable accounts of what people, they may be speaking what they heard. What if we heard something happened on the West Coast? Well, if it's not factual, I shouldn't be reporting it. Shame on me if I did that. And I don't try to introduce hearsay. And the speculation, you can reach your own conclusions as you become more knowledgeable of the dynamics. You don't have to become a microbiologist or an MD research scientist to understand the conceptual framework of these viral agents. Now, we're going to go into another level. It's important for you on 24/7 alert guard to determine what is a sustainable, imminent danger to your family. What is a sustained threat that would cause you not to go to work, or if you're at work, you go home. If you're at school, you go home, or your safe place. If your kids are in school, you go get them. If you're shopping, or your kids, or you're doing some recreation or sports, or some visiting, socializing, you have a plan. I can't tell you what to do, and I'm not going to. I know what I do as leader in command of my house, and we have delegated positions here for responsibility beyond that. My point to you is, if your kids are in school, you need to make a decision. Are you going to go get them or not? If you are somewhere socializing, how long are you going to stay there if you have determined that there is a sustained threat from one of these critical incidents? That's your judgment for you to decide. Now, during a 24-hour reset status, continue to live your life in freedom and not paralyzed by fear or panic. Maintain your life and responsibilities. You're just opening another dimension of your life. Work, school, socialize, whatever, recreation, your hobbies and interests, if you're a mother, a father, a son, or a daughter, or a grandparent, whatever, or whatever your roles are in life, you just set another room up in your house of responsibility that you're on alert status, 24/7 reset, and you don't have to dwell on it and become burnt out on it. You don't have to keep this intact for years, but until this first set of pre-incidents work itself out, as I've already reiterated, make your decision and commitment to work through this one day at a time. Now, maintain your positive physical and mental health. Do not let your health and nutrition deteriorate during this time. And your mental health. It's going to be stressful, people. Create time to walk away from this alarming, critical, viral incidents. Find a way to purge yourself from the hell and destruction these events, and don't get caught up in the what if, what if, what if. Don't be like, well, Moses doesn't have a tail as a bulldog, but don't be like a dog chasing his ass in a circle and you never catch it. Give yourself a break, and if you find yourself driving yourself and others crazy around you, back off. You're not going to be perfect, nor am I. The people, if they did release this, are not perfect. Expand your capabilities to discern, hear, see, and sort throughout this. Now, if you have a hobby, interest, or means to relax during this 24-hour reset status, it's necessary. You need to have something to take you away from this, and I'm not talking about running away from it, and I'm not talking about getting drunk off your ass. I'm talking about something that's positive that allows you to step away. If you're by yourself, you're going to have to do a lot more responsibility. If you've got a family or friends or network or unit, let them take the helm of responsibility for this at times, and you clear your head, but you realize you may have to jump back into it if it worsens during your break. Find something that allows you to maintain sanity, stress management, and focus on other parts of your life. Basically, I'm saying don't become self-absorbed in this. I know what it's like to go 24 hours. You wake up early at sunrise and you don't go to bed during one of these crises because you're in command of it, and you see the sun come up for the next day. And you do collapse eventually. Don't push yourself unless it's absolutely necessary. Find checks and balances. Be aware of the symptoms of burnout. If you're not used to having to go through these 24-hour reset, if you're not used to dealing with this kind of hell and destruction, find something positive that supplements you from having to devote your resources, your energy, and your time and changes in your life to accommodate this. Establish time in your routine when you get up in the morning until you go to bed. Find a way that works for you in a time frame that allows you to hear, see, and sort and update. If I've got someone in my house that I trust, and Sue will be handling this when I'm taking a break. She knows what to look for. She'll be taking notes when it reaches that level. And I hope we don't have to go into that. But right now we update each other. We try to make sure we don't presume that the other one knows something that's factual in real time and neglects to tell each other. Communication is important. Learn the proper terms for these critical incidents that can pose threats to your family. Learn the language. I try to speak it. You don't hear me talking about false flag. That's slang. Staged incidents. You don't hear me. I try to speak their language. And this will end part 2.